over the last 6 years, it took a lot of discipline to save money and only invest it in real estate. It took discipline to not go out and spend money on random useless things. It took discipline to go to the gym every single day, every single morning. It took discipline to follow a diet most of the time.
But the flip side of this is that it's easy.
It's easy to do that though, and I suit up and I show up every day. All you got to do is just be there. You just got to do it.
Yeah,
it's not hard. What's hard is the mental part.
Yeah,
the mental part of don't wake up at 4:30 this morning. Just hit the snooze button. It's hard for me not to go to the gym actually at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But just take a nap. Don't put in those 60 offers. Watch this movie, whatever it may be. Like it's not hard to do the task. It's just hard to get over that mental barrier that's prohibiting you. It's telling you, hey, there's an easier road over here.
Alex, it's been a while, man. Back at it, baby.
Back at it. What's going on?
Not much, man. One thing I thought would be cool to talk to you about. Been playing basketball lately in the mornings. And for me, it's really cool because I'm not like the biggest basketball guy. I'm somewhat athletic, but it's something new to me that I'm diving in and like learning how people run around and what to do when you don't have the ball. It's exciting because it's new, right? Like I'm really fascinated by it. And like, even sometimes at night, I'm like thinking about, man, what should I have done? Like, how can I move? It's a new challenge for me. And I had this analogy that I realized, and it's pretty cool. The guys that go out there and usually are pretty much what seem to be like the best players on the court, they just go out and take shots, right? And in basketball, you miss a lot of shots. You're not supposed to make every one. I'm sitting out there like, if I'm going to take this shot, like I want to make it. And if I miss it, I'm nervous to take the next shot. But the guys that keep balling just keep shooting. And what I've realized is you can liken that to real estate in a lot of ways, where people that are on the sidelines that talk about doing deals and never do anything, that's the whole problem. And we've said this many times, like they're just not making those attempts. But what happens is in basketball, I think after time, just having that confidence, then you realize it's not that big a deal to miss a shot, and you just keep going, right? And I'm like fascinated by this analogy of that versus real estate. On the other side of it is just get out there and do some deals, man. And what I think is people are analyzing the first deal and they're like, this has to change my life. This has to bring in a certain level of cash flow. But in reality, it just has to get you to do the second deal and the third deal and the 10th deal. And I'm just like stuck on this concept of, if you're going to get into real estate, and like there's no point to do it and to not just keep going. Like just to own your own primary residence and that's it is a waste of time. I think you have to go at it and get 10 of them or 20 of them or 30 of them, and having 2 or 3 to me is like missing all the value of the real estate, the power that it will bring. And it's just like basketball. Like you got to just keep getting out there, and it's okay to we've never lost money on a deal, but it's okay to lose money on a deal. I think people just get stuck on it has to be perfect, and then they don't make any kind of move. And that's me in basketball. Like I don't take those shots, and I'm trying to get to taking those shots, but I'm just like comparing these two things from something that I've been getting into twice a week playing basketball.
Y'all win games.
The other day we won 3 in a row. So like the winning team, sticks on the court. But I'm not the guy that like takes the ball and the point guard. Like I'm just like hustling, trying to get the rebound and dish it out.
So here are my thoughts with your analogy is, so you're winning games, right? Even though you personally aren't taking any shots. So that's something to look at in terms of the analogy. And then also the people who are taking a lot of shots and are winning or making the shots, or if you are winning, they are taking a lot of shots. These guys probably aren't airballing every shot, right?
No.
So imagine if you had a guy on your team who never passed the ball and took every shot he possibly had and airballed every single one. And so I don't think just taking shots is the answer either. I think the answer to win into the basketball analogy is having a good team that moves well together and knows what the other team member is doing. It's like water. It's fluid, right? Like, when I go up and fake, I can, without looking, pass you the ball because I know you're right here open, ready to take the shot, and I know you're going to make it. And so in basketball, I think that what causes a good team or a team to win is teamwork, working together, knowing your teammates, confidence. And it's not just taking as many shots as possible, but it's taking shots that you believe, that you have confidence in, that you're going to make. And obviously there's times where you're going to take shots where a shot has to be taken. It's down to the buzzer. It's tied, whatever it is. Like, we have to take this to gamble to win. Maybe we miss, maybe we make it. But I think it's more than just taking shots. And
no, I actually totally agree. What I'm thinking of is that, like, it's more along the lines of that confidence. Like, yeah, for sure, man. If you're airballing every time, like, stick to defense or whatever it may be. But it's like me, for an example. Like, I'm not that confident in basketball. When I'm sitting out there playing by myself, like, in my mind, I'm pretty good. Like, I'll go make like 7 out of 10 free throws. But that same shot, when I'm actually playing full court, fast pace, like, I'm like 2 out of 10 on that shot. And to me, the reason is I haven't taken that shot enough times in that full court game. I've taken it 100 times, by myself. And so I agree with you. I'm just thinking about making those air balls. You get a little bit better and you get more confidence. And to me, I'm just fascinated with how important that confidence is in your mind. Like, there's something really there. Like, if you take that shot and you have confidence, like, your chances go up of making it. And to get that confidence, you have to have the repetitions. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
And I'm liking that to deals of just do that first deal. I'm not saying to do the airball deal type deals.
Well, I know, and that's what I'm saying is I think it's a little bit more complex because there is more than just like waking up one day and saying, all right, I'm going to buy my deal today. Right? There's a lot of practice that goes into analyzing, 1,000 deals before that. A lot of relationship building with sitting in front of the contractor who's going to, many contractors who's going to help you do the work to do it. Talking to 10 different property management companies so that the minute you do pull the trigger on that deal, that you got the right PM company to step in and help you manage it or whatever it may be. And I wouldn't advise anybody to just go out and take random shots at random properties that are listed on the market. I don't think that's the right approach. I think it's all about practice. And
yeah, I agree. I just don't think that, like, I think more people don't have that problem, and they have the problem of practicing too much. That's my thought. Like, I don't think anybody just, other than me, just like runs out and just does it. Like, don't know what they're doing. Like, I'm just going to figure it out on the fly.
But you don't do that either, though.
I know. I shouldn't have said it like that. Like,
no, but I mean, you don't just pop on the MLS and say, all right, I'm buying this deal.
Right.
Right. It's a lot. You looked at, thousands before finding that one.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, and I agree. I mean, it's the same thing we've been saying for years, where it's like just do it. Like, it's a good deal, the numbers work, you have the team in place, just pull the trigger and go for it.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like hitting home with me in a different way with basketball, because it's like a new challenge where I'm in the opposite spot, and I guess part of this is me talking to myself, like, just go shoot the ball and have confidence, and if you miss, and shoot the next one.
But you're winning.
Well, that one day. Yeah.
But if you win.
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever you're doing is working, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe your best suit for that team to play defense and set up.
That's true. I probably am. Yeah.
And set up the guy who can hit the threes every time you throw in the ball.
Yeah. It's kind of just one of those things where I grew up playing baseball, and so I'm athletic. I'm not like the craziest athletic guy, but in baseball or softball, I have all the confidence in the world. Like there's nothing that, even if I strike out, like I'm confident to be in the position that I'm at. And in basketball, although I'm athletic, I don't have that confidence. And I guess what I'm saying is, in order for me to get that, I just have to continue to take those shots and like tell myself like it's okay to mess up and to make a mistake. Just keep going, because I'm not going to ever be perfect at it where I am just going to make all these shots.
Maybe unless you get cut from the team.
Yeah.
After a few air balls. But
do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. And I agree. I mean, you're never going to get that confidence until you know.
It's just like I just respect the people that they keep shooting. Like there's these guys, you can tell they're good, and they miss 6 in a row and then they make the next 6. You know, they don't stop shooting. That's my point, is you're going to miss and you're going to make a mistake, but just embrace it. Obviously, do everything you can to minimize those mistakes. Like build the team, have the knowledge, do the practice runs, but just welcome the mistakes and go on to the next.
Michael Jordan missed a lot of shots.
Yeah,
I forget the stat.
You know, they were like Jordan and Kobe and other people that I grew up with that were really good at basketball. They were pretty much our ball hogs, right? And I'm just comparing this like to real estate in some ways, and maybe it's not the best. Maybe it just works for me, but it's like, get those deals, take those shots.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's kind of cool. Like it's just a new world for me.
Tomorrow's Wednesday.
Yeah.
So it's basketball morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tomorrow we're gonna hear you took some shots.
Yeah, man.
What are you scared of? Why aren't you taking shots?
Well, I want to win, and I put a lot of pressure on myself. And if I don't think I'm gonna make the shot, then
what do? You just pass the rock?
Yeah, pass the rock
to the other guy who's gonna miss 6 in a row.
Yeah.
So is it just what is it?
Like I'll take the layups.
Yeah.
All day, but I'm not like, give me that ball, let me go over here and, try to put a move on and shoot a 3. Like I don't do that. But I want to. I want to have that confidence where, because I can make that shot.
Are you not taking shots at all?
I just take the easy shots. Like
so you haven't taken any hard shots?
No.
So you don't know if you can make it or not.
Correct. That's what I'm saying is like that's my problem with it.
Just shoot the ball.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like forget about basketball. I'm saying I'm trying to get. I'm working on shooting it. Like that's me trying to get there. But I'm just saying the same applies to real estate for people that are.
I know. I get it.
Yeah. Trying to take them on my journey of like, how do I get there in something new and compare these things to make an analogy to where maybe it resonates where you now take the shot on your real estate deal. Because I'm trying to take it on the court.
We need to get Sammy up to Round Rock, play some more basketball.
Yeah, man. You
never seemed scared of taking the shot. It's weird hearing you say that with basketball. Maybe it's different when you're playing 5-on-5.
It is, yeah. It's so different. That's why it's like so fascinating to me because it's so new. Like I didn't even make the basketball team in middle school. Mm-hmm. Like I was watching these kids. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just comparing these two things for whatever reason. But I was watching kids play at the YMCA, and I'm like, man, this kid played his whole life. Then he understands this on a different level, and so it's easier to just take those shots. I never really did that. I did that in baseball. That's why I don't have any, fears of baseball because I'm used to that. And I'm just saying, once you just get out there and have those repetitions, that's the only way to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's my basketball analogy I've been thinking about.
Do you stay up at night? Like, damn, I should have taken that shot. It's the same shot.
Yeah.
You're just a little more out of breath.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a hand in your face.
Mm-hmm. I just like the new challenge, something new. that like it's good to get out there and push yourself and just learn. And for whatever reason, I'm like really drawn to basketball right now. Maybe because I'm not any good at it and I want to get good at it.
How much practice you putting in?
Twice a week in the mornings.
While you play?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever go and practice your shots outside?
A little bit. Maybe once a week when I work out.
Not outside, but like outside the game.
Mm-hmm. Then I, try to. But I'm like 5 weeks in. Just fun, man. Like getting a new sport or something that, like, life's amazing. There's so many things out there that you can get passionate about. You know, I'm pretty much like the smallest dude out on the court, and but I'm putting in the work and I'm having fun with it.
You're pretty big, so
these kids are high school kids that are going to college.
If they're in high school and they're waking up at 5 a.m. to play basketball with you,
yeah, like these guys are. One of them's going to Oklahoma Christian. Other guy's going to Texas Tech. Like these guys can dunk.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm playing with some serious guys.
Yeah,
so that's why it's just fascinating. I took my cousin up there yesterday, and he's like, "Dude, these guys are way better than the guys at Lifetime."
Who? Josh
Jackson.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. I don't know. You have any? You ever have anything right now, or in general, that you're like having these analogies or thinking of different ways to explain business or real estate and comparing it?
It's all the same.
Yeah.
It's the same process, whether it's basketball, whether it's, when we first got started, I didn't know anything about a real estate brokerage. Didn't have my license, never worked at a real estate brokerage before. And it's all the same. For me, it's all just going for it. I mean, it's obviously it's way different when you have someone like you who does understand how a brokerage works. You do have worked in that world for 10 plus years, or construction or management or whatever it may be. It's just all just diving in there and figuring it out.
Mm-hmm. I think what I'm getting at, I guess, is probably a pretty simple concept, but it's just when you're putting in the work and you're taking those shots, that's what leads to getting the confidence. And then you have a confidence to perform because you're not faking it. You're like really in it. And the only way to do that is to just do it.
First and foremost, the most important thing is to get in the game. Yeah. Right. So if you're not showing up to the court and you're not playing ball, then you're not going to make a shot. Same thing with the businesses. If you're not in the day, if you don't have one of these businesses, if you're not diving into them or trying to learn it, it's not going to come because you're not in the game. And then second, the more you're in the game, the more shots you take, the like you're talking about, the better you feel, the more confident you get, the more you learn. Mm-hmm. You don't need to know it all. I think that's the most important thing is for business is you just need to know, like, where do I put the next foot? What direction do I step in? What's the next step? What are the next 3 steps? Mm-hmm. I didn't need to know every single in and out of real estate brokerage. It's just like, how do we get paid? How do we pay out? How does this work? How does this work? Mm-hmm. Okay. We got the basics down, and then another problem arises and you figure it out. And then another one arises, you figure it out. And it's just, step by step by step by step. And you just figure each one out as they come, and you don't need to know everything. Right. For me, that's the way I work, is I just need to know what are the next 2 things I need to do. And I'm going to go do those 2 things, and I'll figure the next 2 out.
I feel like that's a lot of what I was maybe getting at is like, because you're just saying just go, you know what you need to do right now, do it, and then keep doing the next step versus having to understand all the steps before you take that first step.
You don't need to know basketball philosophy to go out there and shoot a shot. You just need to know, all right, give me the ball and let me shoot it, right? You don't need to understand everything and study all these coaches and the players and
that's what I'm saying. Like but I think there's a lot of people that are in that mindset with real estate. that they think they have to understand all of it.
I know. And
I just really respect the people that take the shot in basketball or in real estate. That's what it is.
No deal is exactly the same, and I don't think any business is exactly the same. More so just because you're dealing with different people, and nobody's exactly the same. And I don't think there's an exact playbook for anyone or everyone for exactly what you want to do. And like there's these 100 things that you have to do in this order, and there's going to be no other outside forces that come in and throw things off course. I think there's definitely playbooks and guides and guidelines or mentors to follow or advice to follow and to learn from other people's mistakes. But I don't think, like if I asked you for advice on a subject for a situation that I'm going through, even though you may have gone through a similar situation, you have similar and relatable advice, parts may be applicable. However, it's not your situation, and therefore it's probably not going to be the exact same outcome. And so I think that you just have to take what you can, learn from who you can, but ultimately you have to pave your own path.
Yeah.
And you just have to get out there and start walking.
That's why for our agents that are new, I think that's why I don't want to give them. I could tell them what I would do and say, this is what you should do for the first 30 days and the second 30 days and so on and so forth. But that's probably why I don't want to do that, is because I want them to have their own path. Like, I don't want you to do exactly what I say. Like, I want you to do what you're going to enjoy, and then let me know how I can plug in and give you guidance, and I definitely will. If you want me to tell you everything to do, I will. But probably I just even subconsciously know that they're not going to do it anyways. Maybe some people would, but
here's the thing though, is they're going to figure it out. And so giving them advice and things to do for the first 30 days and the second and then the third 30 days is, I think, everybody's not like you or me. And I think there's a lot of people who need that. And then within those 90 days, they're going to figure out what their path is. They're going to, they're going to be like, oh, Matt said to do this, but I really don't enjoy doing that. However, he did say to do this, and I enjoy doing it this way. And I'm going to run with that one. And they'll start to form their own path based on advice and experience and expertise that's given to them. And, through their own experiences, they're going to find their own path as they pave it.
Yeah, man, totally. Just left a meeting with the guy, and he door knocked. He moved here from Florida, and he door knocked, and it's so simple. He said he was in a certain neighborhood. He got all the phone numbers that were relevant, like whatever it may be, trash, utilities, school district, put it on a flyer, and he got some market information about what was happening in the city, and on the back he put his realtor information and market numbers, and he went door to door, and he said, hey, my name is blah blah. I just wanted to let you know I'm new to the neighborhood. I put together a list of important phone numbers that was valuable to me, so I thought this would be helpful for you. Also, they're looking at putting in a street light on this corner. I've been hearing from a lot of the neighbors that they believe that one should be in here. And if you give me your email address, I'll connect you with the people, and we can get on the petition or whatever it may be. And I'm also a realtor, so keep me in mind. And he did $4 million in real estate sales in 3 months when he literally just moved here. And it's like, it's that simple. It's just like, do you want to do that kind of stuff or not?
Yeah. I was in a Facebook group the other day, and this guy had a post that basically said, if you're not doing any sales, like I don't want to hear your excuses or whatever, like, have you talked to every person in your neighborhood? And he would go, and he's like, if I don't know somebody in my neighborhood, that's a problem. He's like, he knocks on every door for every person in his neighborhood, and he said he knows them all. He has great relationships from it, great, conversations. He meets great people. Sure, some people tell him, don't talk to me, leave me alone, don't bother me. But he says that he talks to every single person in his neighborhood, knocks on every door, talks to every person, And he says that alone, if he sees a sign, this is what he said. He said, if there's a sign that comes up for sale in my neighborhood and it's not mine, I know I did my absolute best to get them as a client.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So, in other words, he
He's doing
had
everything
already
he possibly can.
to meet that person, to know that person. He's already spoken to him or attempted to speak to him a few different times. And it is that simple.
Yeah.
To just go knock on the doors.
Yeah, and you just have to know that, I think you can rest easy at night knowing that you did everything you could to get whatever you're trying to do. That was one of the things I was reading. LBJ, the president, with his campaigns, he was like a big believer in, if I do everything possible on this campaign, like I will win. And there was like one time that he didn't win, and he literally didn't do everything, but he like let up like a week or two early. He let up, and that was like one of his biggest regrets is like, I didn't do everything possible that time. And even if you lose and you do everything possible, then you can rest easy that you made your best attempt.
I think it's business and real estate and basketball, whatever you're trying to do. I think about this often due to the fact that, like, I don't know how you view it. I know I always say that, I said it again today while we were at lunch, that this is the easiest thing in the world, what we do every day. Mm-hmm. And it truly is. And you always try and correct me or say, like, well, it's the 2 years of, 60 offers a day that led up to that. And sure, but even that was easy too.
Wasn't easy for me.
No?
I hated sitting down writing. When I saw how many offers you're writing, I tried to write double to get you to not try and F with me.
I wouldn't F with you.
No, I just, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, Alex is cranking out some offers. Like, I ain't going to let him outdo me. I hated writing offers.
Yeah, but it's so easy, right?
It's easy. But
comparatively,
just like anything, I mean, it's easy, like, I know what you're saying. I agree with you. Like, if you're a professional basketball player, like, you're busting it, working out, but you're playing basketball. Like, playing a game.
Well, I think the, and maybe this is, maybe there's some ignorance to this due to not understanding everybody's situations, but I truly just believe that the path to success is very simple and easy. And it's literally as simple as showing up every single day and putting one foot in front of the other.
I think you're right, except I say that it's simple but not easy. Like, simple in the sense that there's principles that apply, and not easy because you got to.
What's so hard about that, though?
Well, you love it. Like, you have a different perspective. I don't know. I'm kind of similar where, like, I'm always super positive, but you had a different life. You came from a different life where you almost died and you were in jail. And so, nothing's hard compared to that, right? But most people don't. I don't know. Most people don't want to have 5 meetings a day.
So it's just perspective. Yeah,
it's probably definitely perspective, and I think you have a good perspective on it. I try to be very positive, and even if I'm not, I don't even allow myself to think the other way. I'm like, yeah, it's all good,
Well, but it's not hard though. It's if it's hard, there was nothing hard about those 6 months or however long it was where we were making 60 offers a day and we weren't getting any deals.
But what would you say? What is hard for you? Like, I don't think you would say anything's hard because of your perspective. You see what I'm saying?
I guess I do what I love every single day. So there's nothing I do I don't do anything that I don't like.
Yeah.
But
what would be hard for anybody? Like, is it hard to go to the gym if you're a professional football player? Like, is it hard to go work out? Is it hard to run sprints? Is it hard for, a teacher to do a lesson plan to go teach your students? Like, you would probably say none of those things are hard because of the perspective that you have on things.
Is it hard to go sprint? Like, would it be hard?
Most people would say yes.
Why? unless you have some
because it's easier to sit on the couch and not sprint.
Okay.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying.
But it's not that hard. It's just a mental barrier. Like physically.
That's why I say it's simple. But I think there's a difference in it being simple, like you understand it, but then it's hard to, you got to put in the work. Like you're putting in work, right?
Yeah, but you gotta work for anything.
I know. That's what I'm saying is like you have that perspective.
Yeah.
But most people say work is hard.
Okay.
Do you agree with that?
I guess.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why you don't see it that way, because you just have a different perspective, and it's a good perspective. I think it's a great perspective.
It's not hard though. Like work is not hard. It's hard because you're making it hard. It's hard because
what is hard? What do you think is hard then? Like what would be hard for you?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Well,
I really don't know.
That's the whole point. Like there are hard things, but
following a diet is hard. I'll say that's hard. But here's what I tell myself.
Some people would say that's not hard.
Well, I'll tell you, it's hard because I'm lazy and I like to give in to temptation.
That's why doing sprints is hard for some people.
Right. So, but it's actually not hard. It's just I'm lazy and I don't want to follow the diet and I'd rather eat ice cream. It's not a hard thing to do. It's just I don't want to do it. Therefore, I don't do it. And I say that it's hard, but it's actually not hard. Just eat the fish.
Well,
is that right? Is that true?
No, I hear you. And hey, maybe you're opening my mind, but what is there are hard things in this life. Like forget about like obviously like
yeah, well sure,
like mental struggles and like that kind of stuff. But like what is hard? Like what do you see as hard?
Physically hard, or like like
any of it? Like what's hard? Like what's hard for you to do?
I think like there's emotional things that are hard, and like mental things that are hard, right? Like it's hard, I'm sure, to have someone close to you pass away. It's hard to deal with.
That's why I'm not trying to talk about that.
Okay.
I'm saying like
outside of that,
yeah.
Outside of that, like just doing what I'm supposed to do, or like telling the truth, or being honest, or trying to help somebody. I think the definition of hard, and in reference to what we're talking to, is just in conflict with like selfishness. So like, or laziness. So like selfishly or like if you asked, like this table, when Lexi asked if I would help move this table, I did not want to. Mm-hmm. And so like, was it hard to actually go and do that? No, but I was in conflict because I didn't want to go do it. Mm-hmm. Therefore you could say it was hard to go and do that. But when I actually did it, it wasn't hard. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's just in conflict with selfishness and laziness is probably when things become, hard. That's so cool. Like the diet is just laziness. I'd rather sit on the couch, or I'd rather not prepare. I'd rather not go to the grocery store and get all the things that I need to do. It's much easier just to say, hey babe, let's just go get Chick-fil-A, or let's just, I'll eat some of that ice cream, or, whatever it is. Like, it's just easier to do the other thing. And it's laziness for me is the way I view it.
Yeah. Well, I guess, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm trying to think through all this. Is a lot, but
I think it's just perspective. And I think it takes discipline to do these things. Like it took discipline over the last 6 years, it took a lot of discipline to save money and only invest it in real estate. It took discipline to not go out and spend money on random useless things. It took discipline to go to the gym every single day, every single morning. It took discipline to follow a diet most of the time.
But the flip side of this is that it's easy. Like
it's easy to do that though, and I suit up and I show up every day. All you got to do is just be there. You just got to do it. Yeah. It's not hard. What's hard is the mental part. Yeah. The mental part of don't wake up at 4:30 this morning. Just hit the snooze button. It's hard for me not to go to the gym actually at this point. Mm-hmm. But just take a nap. Don't put in those 60 offers. watch this movie, whatever it may be. Like it's not hard to do the task. It's just hard to get over that mental barrier that's prohibiting you. It's telling you, hey, there's an easier road over here.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I'm on board with that. I just think I guess that's what it is. It's simple, but the hard part is to get over that mental barrier, and then it's not hard.
Yeah, and it took me 21 years to get over that mental barrier.
Mm.
And then I finally said, no more. And I found what I did was I did a lot of hard things. I did a lot of emotional and spiritually hard things, and I realized that doing the hard things actually made me feel the best. And I said I want more of that feeling.
Mm.
Therefore,
that's where it is. I think that's where your perspective, when you say it's not hard, because you've already overcome that. But for a lot of people, it is hard. But you view it as it's easy because you know that you have to do it, and if you don't, it's actually harder the other way.
For sure.
Yeah.
But of course it's quote unquote hard when you're in that moment and your mind's telling you to take this easier road. To decide not to do that and say, no, I'm going to do it anyway, and I'm going to do it 110%, and I'm going to give it my all. To make that decision, that's the only hard part about it. And then when you go and do it, it's not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
But in that moment, it's just laziness. It's not like the actual task is hard. It's just I want to be lazy instead.
Mm-hmm. I hear you, man. I'm just thinking when you're like, success is not hard and it's simple or easy. I'm like, I take a little bit of offense to that because I'm like, I fucking have gone to the hospital from working, literally. And I'm like, it wasn't easy. Like, it wasn't easy to do everything that I've done.
Was it easier to do that, or was it harder to be in that Pizza Hut or Wingstop, wherever you were?
It's easier to not be in the hospital and to look at the screen and see what address I'm taking the pizza to.
It was easier to do that? I don't think it was. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
Maybe you're right. I don't know.
I think that was harder mentally.
Yeah.
The hospital thing, you just need to drink more water.
No, dude, this is the thing. Like, I push you can push your body. I didn't know this was a thing, but you can push your stress limit.
Yeah, I'm
sure. Telling you, I took 18 hours in school, and I got the Rookie Realtor of the Year in Corpus Christi. I was dressing up in a suit and tie every day. I was the first one in the brokerage. I'd go to school, and I was the last one out. Like, it was 7 a.m. to 10 or 11 p.m., and all my friends were partying. And I literally went to the fucking hospital.
Sure.
I'm serious.
I know.
I couldn't move. Like, I'm not, I wouldn't make this up.
Believe you.
I didn't know what was wrong with me.
I know.
I had a deal going on. This guy was he couldn't close the deal, so he's going to lose $2,000 earnest money.
I remember he's going to sue you.
He's going to sue me. I had $1,900 in my bank account. That was hard. Real hard.
Why was it hard?
Because I didn't have any support, and I was just figuring it out. Like, my broker wasn't helping me. My teacher didn't care that I was working extra hours.
So this was
my clients didn't care. My friends didn't understand.
But this was like the first time you were like on your own dealing with stuff?
Yeah, I was in the real world talking about getting sued at 17 years old. What the fuck does that mean? Where's this suing coming from?
Suit? Oh, getting sued.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to sue you. Call my broker. You're kind of on your own, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
But was it that hard looking back? Or
I think it was. I mean, I really do. I mean, I don't know.
There's hard situations for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that every day is perfect, but I'm saying maybe it is just perspective. My perspective is I get to do the shit I love every day. And of course there's things that I do on a daily basis that I'd rather not do, but I'm still choosing to do them. No one's forcing me to do this. No one, is saying if you don't do this, then this. I just know that there's shit I got to do that I don't want to do, but I have to do it.
Right.
And I want to do it. because I want the end result.
Yeah.
And I think it is just perspective. Like, there's been time, I told you, there's been plenty of other things that I've done that are way harder than this. And
it's got the big part of this is perspective. Like, it has to be, because I think we're on the same page. Like, we believe in a lot of the same things with this, like with work ethic, but you have a really good perspective that I think you're not allowing yourself to think is a challenge, but it is. And that's why you're succeeding.
It was a 21-year challenge or a 10-year challenge, however you look at it. I mean, from 11 to 21, it was a challenge for sure. And then when I was 21 and, got sober and spiritual relationship.
You're 26 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have a real estate brokerage with 70 plus agents, and you have a lot of properties. And do you think that there's a lot of 26-year-olds out there that were like, I can't even comprehend how you're at that point? That must be really hard for me to get there.
I don't think about it. I view my I think this is key. Is I view myself as not having anything, and
you have a crazy perspective, man, and it's good.
Okay.
That's it. It's good. It's a good thing.
Well, why can't it works for me, and that's what I don't understand is if it's not working for somebody else, just change your perspective. And I understand that that's hard, and it's not just all right, perspective changed, but there's things you can do to change your perspective. And if what you're doing is not working, and if you keep running into walls and you don't like what you're doing and you're not happy, there's things you can do to change it, and no one else is going to change it for you.
I totally agree, 100%. I don't know. I just think when you don't see it that way, it's a little bit harder. I don't see it. I see it the same way you do.
I didn't see it that way either. I knew internally that I didn't have the answer, and I still don't have the answers, but I've got a better idea than I did when I was 21. But I didn't know the answer, and I didn't know which direction to turn. I knew that I had to change, and what it took was for someone to tell me the truth and say, Alex, you're a lazy piece of shit, and you've been fucking over people here, and you haven't been living life the right way, and blah, 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 blah. And it took someone to tell me the truth for me to say, damn, they're right. And like, cat's out of the bag. Like, I wasn't fooling anybody anyways, but, it's all on the table now. And it's like, okay, what do you do from here?
Mm-hmm.
Do I continue to, be a coward and run from everything? Or do I address these problems and move forward and put one foot in front of the other?
Yeah. Well, maybe someone needed to hear that, because like I said, I agree with you. Like, when people ask me, what are your challenges? I honestly don't have a good answer for that, other than I have no challenges. I just have to keep doing what I'm doing. Like, I just have to keep pushing forward. There's nothing that I'm not looking for this magical, I'm stuck on this. Well, here's what you need to do. It's like, no, I already know what I need to do. I just need to go do it. Just keep making progress.
Yeah. I forgot how we got on this, but
I don't know either.
I think it is simple, and I think it is easy. The way I view things is like, there's no alternatives.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the only way. I have to do the hard things. I have to put in the work.
That's what you said, though. That's the perspective. Like, you're acknowledging that there are hard things that you have to do.
It's only hard because I don't want to do it. But when I push through that, again, it's mental. This is what's hard. The task is not hard. Making those offers was not hard. It's the mental barrier of like, man, I don't want to be behind the computer writing offers. That's hard.
That's a real thing. That's hard. That's hard to, sacrifice what's the easy thing to do? Not do those offers at the computer.
All right. Well, here's my answer then. Success is easy. You just have to do the hard things, and you can't take the easy road.
I accept that.
And that's all I'm trying to say. It is simple to do that. You just do it.
Yeah.
Do it once. Do it, do it tomorrow. Like, take those shots. Take 10 shots tomorrow.
Full circle, baby. Kobe.
Take 10 shots tomorrow, and then the next time you go play ball, you'll be like, hey, that wasn't that bad. I made 4 out of 6.
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot again. And you just start with doing one thing that's hard. Like and for me, it's with extremes, and I'm not always perfect at it, but like whether it was something that majorly affected our business that was hard to do, but we did, I feel that same gravity internally of doing the hard thing as like walking past a piece of trash and mentally being like, I'm not picking that up. Be like, you should go turn around and pick that up. And I'll take like 10 more steps and be like, fuck. And I'll turn around and I'll go pick up the piece of trash. Like that was the hard thing to do instead of just I feel the same gravity in those situations of I always have to do the right thing. And the right thing is always typically the hardest thing to do because the wrong thing is typically the easy road.
Right.
In my experience.
Yeah, I'm with it, man. This is random, but because I believe in like, you know, you can kind of accomplish whatever you want and have no limits.
I believe that too.
But
it's easy, right?
There are some, like, this is just kind of random. Like, I believe in that, like, wholeheartedly. Like, whatever you want to focus on, you can do. However, I don't actually believe if I truly wanted to dunk a basketball that I would be able to do that. Like, if I went and like worked out all the time and like try to figure out how to jump higher, I think there's a physical limit that I cannot dunk a basketball.
I think you could do it.
There has to be a limit though, right? Like, what if it's a 12-foot rim? Like, there's some basketball players that can dunk on a 12-foot rim and some that can't.
I didn't know they had 12-foot rims.
They'll, you know, just raise it for like a dunk contest or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of random. I just honestly don't like. I believe that there are certain physical limits that.
So what are you trying to say?
I don't know. I just thought about that the other day. Like, man, I'd love to dunk, and I'm like, I don't think even if I did everything possible, I actually don't believe I would be able to dunk.
Okay. But I mean, like, sure. I mean,
it's just random. Like, I'm not saying to not do that, but I don't know, man. I'm stuck on this basketball. There's something in this basketball analogy that it's gonna relate more and more to real estate with me personally.
Yeah. I think basketball is a team sport.
Basketball is a team sport. Real estate's a team sport. It's all about getting around the right people, growing together, and that's the key, man. That's what we're here for, and hopefully there's some value here for the listeners. Any basketball players out listening, let us know your thoughts.
I think you can dunk. How tall are you? Like 6 foot?
5'10" and a half.
You don't think he can?
He's like, no, he can't dunk.
I think you could. I think if you, maybe if you were lighter and... right? If there wasn't so much, not saying that you need to, but like if it's possible to lose a little weight, maybe you only practice jumping for, for months. Maybe maybe you got those shoes that, I don't even know what they're called, but there's these shoes that help you with your vertical.
What do you guys think?
Maybe
put in the comments. Can I dunk?
If you threw on a weighted vest and you did, box jumps and you did that every day and increase the weight.
Yeah. I'm
willing to bet you could dunk.
Yeah. All right.
And it's probably easy. You just got to do the hard work.
Well, I think that's a wrap for today. If you guys have any thoughts or comments on this, let us know. Kind of got a little in the mind on this one, and hopefully it's valuable. So appreciate y'all tuning in. Give some comments on all this stuff. Let us know your opinion, thoughts. That's about it. Appreciate it, my man.
Signing out.
Peace.